And now we get a peek at some of the top players here for this Madden Ultimate Team matchup. Brandon Gaudin, Charles Davis ready to go in the booth. We hope you're ready to go at the controls. Let's play. Caleb Sturgis now to do the honors and get us started. And off we go from Seattle. Fielded about a yard deep. On first down, Stafford here. Over the middle, that's caught by Hogan. That throw good for 4. It's second down.
When you see zone defense and you know you've got a drag route on as your primary call, you've got to be really careful as a passer about how far you let your guy go because he might wander into some tough coverage.
Stafford flushed out right. And too much juice. It'll be out of bounds, incomplete.
My high school coach John Ford used to say all the time, if you're in a bad situation, laddie, don't compound it with a bad decision as well. And I think that's what we just saw there. Harassed in the pocket, and throws into double coverage anyway.
He called you laddie?
He called me laddie, and that was the nicest thing he called me.
And 12 yards that time and picking up the first.
They ran that one well, and not only did they pick up a nice chunk of yardage on the screen, they sent a message to the defense. Rush the passer all you want, but you better be careful. We can hit you going back the other direction.
And he'll be brought down right at the 45-yard line. 7 yards there on the first down screen play.
For a second there, I thought that might break big. Screen pass, looked like it was coming together, looked like there was an opening. Still, ended up with a solid game.
Now a clash of bodies here, and it's intercepted. Deion Sanders, the Hall of Famer, with a pick. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. They'll come out in the pistol. First carry for Thomas Rawls. And he's going to be stopped here on this first play as he gets it to the line of scrimmage and no more. The Hall of Famer Jack Youngblood there on the stop.
A 1-yard gain could look like a disaster, but it all depends on how the game is going. Is it a series of 1-yard gains running the ball? If that's the case, you might have to start thinking about throwing it a little bit more. But if it's just the occasional 1-yard run, hey, congratulations to the defense. They won that one. Come back and get them the next time.
Offense comes to the line now, 1st and 10. A running play for Rawls. 5 yards is the tally on first down. That brings up 2nd and 5.
And that's exactly what you want on a first down run. Pick up 5 yards, bring up 2nd and 5. The defensive line, though, they've got to figure out a way to out-leverage the guys up front because the offensive line is winning at the point of attack.
And he is going to lose yardage here. It's a loss of 2, now 3rd down.
Ah, yes, that's today's NFL defensive tackle. Not just a space eater anymore. A guy with agility, movement skills, who can rush the passer and make plays in the offensive backfield.
Here's Stafford. Flush to his right. Drops it underneath for Rawls. And the broken tackle helps lead to a first down gain. The play goes for 19 yards. Gives him a new set of downs.
Looked like the defense put pretty good pressure on him, but he's able to flush out to his right to try and evade people. On the run, had to get on his horse. Still accurately throws a nice pass for a first down.
No gain on the play. It'll be 2nd down. And if you're the defense and those D tackles, you like that they're trying to run the football here against your 4-3, don't you?
Yeah, because they tend to eat things up because they are so strong and physical, and especially when they play with leverage where they get lower than the offensive lineman and control them. And what I love about the good defensive tackles, they can play over the guards, they can slide and play over the center. Nobody in the offense likes that day when they have to deal with those guys.
A nice, strong run there for Rawls. His coaches back in high school in Flint, Michigan, you know what his nickname was?
No, what was it?
The Train. The man can break some tackles on occasion.
Well, it makes sense when you watch runs like that because when you're trying to deal with a train, you're supposed to get out of the way, right? And if you don't, you're going to get bruised up trying to tackle him. That's the type of runner he is. He can pop people as he goes by them. Well, coaches always talk about finding balance on offense. I don't think you get much more balance than this. Big-time run, Big-time pass.
A 1-2 combination. Looked pretty good.
How about that? Let's see if they can continue to take that kind of a punch, though.
This is Rawls. And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage back at the 22. Alongside my broadcast partner, Charles Davis, Brandon Gaudin hits the Seahawks with a football to begin quarter number 2, but they face a 2nd and long to start things out. And they're going to go soft on the corners. On 2nd down, here's Stafford. And Gresham's got it over the middle. The reception good for 7. It's 3rd down.
An ex-teammate used to tell me all the time, I hate experienced quarterbacks because no matter what, you really can't hide what you're doing. And I think that right there, he knew right away where the blitz was coming from, where his primary guy was going to be, and he ended up going to a secondary target for a nice game.
I was just going to ask you, that wasn't the primary target. He's so good at that, isn't he?
I think he knew right away that he wasn't going to get to his primary guy. I think he read that as soon as he got to the line of scrimmage, knew where the pressure was going to come from, and said, I know how to beat that, and that's what he did.
1st and goal from the 5. They'll try to run with Rawls. And there just continues to be nowhere to run. He's bottled up again at the line of scrimmage.
Good luck trying to get your running game going against Ndamukong Suh. I mean, he is so strong. Just trying to move him, take one guy, 2 guys, whatever. I wish you a whole lot of luck. He usually converts an offensive running game into rubble.
They'll run the option left. Again, it's Rawls. And this is going to result in losing yardage. They're driven back to the 8-yard line. He lost 2 there, and it's 3rd down. And back at the 8 now, 3rd and goal. Now Stafford on 3rd and goal. End zone caught. Touchdown, Seattle. Pierre Garçon. A 7-yard touchdown grab. And the Seahawks are able to strike for 6. And his kick is good. Now after the touchdown, it's Sturgis to send it away. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he'll wind up getting an extra couple yards here for his trouble as he'll bring this one out to the 27. And now here comes Kansas City. They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. His throw incomplete. That one intended for Anquan Bolden. And now it's 2nd down.
Oh, man, for him to be that wide open and drop it, sometimes you have just too much time on your hands, right? You end up thinking way too much, and your hands get shaky.
And yes, he's a tight end, but that's a catch he should have made. Offense trying to avoid stalling out, facing a 3rd and 10.
Not too many things get to a quarterback of this magnitude, but I think it's safe to say that pressure can get to any quarterback.
Now, he's obviously a great franchise quarterback, but felt the pressure, threw it incomplete. A good pickup there, 26 yards. And we've arrived at the 2-minute warning here in half number 1. Stafford on 1st down. And the tip there altered the ball flight, and it falls incomplete. It'll be 2nd down. 2nd down now after the incompletion.
Well, we're not playing 3 yards in a cloud of dust football anymore. I kind of get why those old school coaches sometimes didn't want to throw the football. Because if it's popped up in the air, it almost...
And this is taken in at the 5. A big play there for KC. 43 yards. The last drive he threw the pick, but he's not shy. He's going downfield again there.
And you can't be, because if you back off after throwing an interception, your whole game plan just goes right out the window, and it makes things easier for a defense. And you and I both know there's no quarterback in this league that's any good that doesn't throw an interception occasionally, and they usually bounce back in a big way. I've seen...
And that is caught for the touchdown, Kansas City. Chris Hogan from 4 yards out. And the Chiefs are an extra point away from tying up this football game. And it's no good. He misses the extra point, and this remains a 7-6 game. Following scoring the touchdown. Dustin Hopkins will kick it away. On the return, the old reliable Devin Hester, the veteran. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. The Seattle now ready to march out of the field. And that last drive, a long drive, but not just that. They had a great air attack going. Do they stick with that?
I would think that they would, because if they were competent enough to do it on the last drive, starting backed up in their own territory, why would you change anything? They've got to be confident about what they're presenting and continue to do so.
Yeah, because the secondary, they really look clueless.
And that was amazing because that drive went and went, no adjustments, and no big plays by the defense to knock the ball away. The evaluation process in today's NFL does not take into account as much bulk as it does speed, and that's what we're seeing with the linebacker position. Those guys that can run, they can play at any spot because they can make plays on the opposite side of the line of scrimmage.
2 yards gets them back to where they started, but now 3rd and 10.
Tough day, tough sledding right there, and it's been that way the entire game. Not a whole lot of room to ramble for him.
Yeah, you're right. It's been that way all afternoon. Didn't get a whole lot better there. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Now here's a defensive timeout called by the Chiefs. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. Now it's Lockett. Now a hit and a loose football. And his guys are going to take over at the 39-yard line. The Seattle now ready to march out of the field. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here.
Not an ideal spot to be on first down, but I love that the play caller did not immediately abandon the running game and say, okay, we've got to throw it in order to pick it up. Stayed with the run, was rewarded with a big-time pickup. Now they're in second and manageable.
To throw on second down is Stafford. And that is incomplete. 7 seconds remaining.
I had a coach tell me a long time ago that running a screen pass is similar to acting 101 for your offense, because you've got to show something different and create extra space for linemen to chase the quarterback in order to create extra room for the receiver to catch the football and maneuver upfield. In this case, though, give a lot of credit to the defense.
And with a clock reading zeros, he is